Greetings in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, Melech of Yasharal, Kohen forever, according to the order of Melchizedek. All esteem, honor, and glory unto our Eloah, Yahuwah. My name is Maya Akal Shalama. This is Melek Shelomah Trading, and I'm going to do
Boom.
a trade
Sweep ES buyers at
risk disclosure before we start. If the volume of the
$5,676.25.
alerts is drowning out the reading of the risk disclosure, please
Boom.
just read
Sweep
along.
ES buyers at
General disclosure.
$5,677.05.
All MELEK SHELOMOH Trading LLC materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
All right, so let's jump into the trade recap. Let's pull across the trade and view chart and just get a perspective of the setup I'm looking at. All right, so we're going to go back to the prior
Stop
day.
run ES sell wipeout.
This is an automatic rally from a higher time frame, and I'm looking at this basically as don't want that. Hold on. All right, so I'm looking at this as basically a LPSY or excuse me, a UTAD, uptrust after
Boom.
distribution,
Sweep
right?
ES
Because
sellers at
it ran above the automatic rally in a prior
$5,677.25.
redistribution. So I'm looking for some continuation here, right? I'm looking for some lower points of supply to get involved in a sell trade, right? So at the open here, there was a potential setup, but we didn't come to R3, so I avoided taking this setup here for a short trade, and that worked out nicely, but it didn't really get to my level. So there is some distribution here, and I didn't take that
Stop
trade
run
because
ES
we
sell
didn't come up to the
wipeout.
Camarilla R3 level, right? So what I was looking for would be a 360 fire strategy, right? Which is basically trying to get into alignment with a
Stop run
downtrend,
ES
right?
sell
So
wipeout.
I'm looking after we create this basically like a little accumulation of selling climax here. Something like an automatic rally would come up to this point here, but I'm looking at all of this to start failing. So
Stop
when we
run ES
create the
sell
real
wipeout.
automatic rally, which was created here at the retest of the IB mid, I'm looking for a sell trade. Let me open this a little more. All right, so what I was looking for was a retest entry. Hold on. At the central pivot, which is
Tracking. Iceberg ES sell.
56.8725,
Stop run ES
and
buy
that's VWAP
wipeout.
right there. That's a neon green line. So I was looking for a little stop run above that, and then to get this sell trade
Stop
here,
run
which
ES buy
actually
wipeout.
materialized, but I got stopped out, right? So I took my trade around here, right after this big buying, and we had the initial selling. It came back and stopped me out. So let's go to the bookmap chart so you can see the order flow. All right, let's see here. Right, so we have the retracement. One second. Right, so we have the retracement here to VWAP, right?
Stop run ES
So we're
sell
pushing up to
wipeout.
VWAP.
Boom.
I
Sweep
start
ES
getting
sellers at
the signs of like a distribution, right?
$5,674.25.
So we have the high volume pressure and volume and pressure imbalance spikes, right? So we start getting those. We start getting initial pullbacks. We run into the heavy liquidity, and I take the short trade, right? So basically, the trade initially worked out. Let me just open that up a little more. All right, so this is a close-up view of the trade here. So I'm waiting for a retest of the central pivot. I'm waiting for a stop run above VWAP. I'm also waiting for some buying exhaustion when it hits the liquidity, right? So we do get all of those. We get high volume going into this trade. We get the volume pressure and volume pressure imbalance spikes, buying spikes, right? We get a bunch of buying sweeps here, and we get some stop runs.
Boom. Sweep
All
ES
of this
buyers
is
at
a nice trade setup, but
$5,677.75.
they
Stop
eventually
run ES
squeezed
buy
a little
wipeout.
more,
Tracking.
and that's where I
Iceberg ES
almost got
sell.
stopped out on
Boom.
the
Sweep
first
ES
attempt
sellers
of
at
the squeeze. My stop was
$5,677.25.
right here,
Stop run ES sell
right?
wipeout.
And you can
Stop
see
run
we
ES buy
consolidated
wipeout.
just below my
Boom.
stop,
Large
and
trade
we
ES buy
started to
price
move down, right? So let's move
$5,067.05.
across.
Size 360.0.
Right, so after my stop initially almost got tagged, we pushed back down. This is my entry point right here. That's my short trade. We push back down into profit. We hit VWAP and we start to rotate to the upside. So I was thinking to myself, should I stop out here and take a small loss, or should I just let the trade play out? So I decided to just let the trade play out, because we almost hit my stop loss before and we didn't hit my stop loss. So I decided to let the trade play out because I was looking at the buying exhaustion here. We're not really hitting the best offer, which is that red line, and we have this liquidity right here just underneath my stop loss, right? So I gave it a chance to work, and I was basically thinking it is gonna stop me out, right? Because usually once these trades don't automatically work, like when I take the entry right here, usually the trade, if it's gonna work, it's probably gonna work immediately and start moving down. This right here was a sign of there is some buying pressure still, and there is some exhaustion that still has to occur, right? So we came down here, we buyers tried to take it back up, they squeezed a little bit more. This created the automatic rally that I was looking for, hoping it would be that's the automatic rally. This was basically like a low volume automatic rally. Usually the buying exhaustion is on high volume with buying sweeps. This was like a low volume automatic rally here. So it was kind of tricky, and this is the kind of stuff that happens in trading, right? It's like they say, it's kind of random. You look for the best kind of setups and you take the setups, right? So this is what eventually happened. So that's the trade I was looking for. Let's see, we still selling off or what? Right, so this is where we're at. So we basically, the setup still happened. We had the stop run above VWAP, which is right here, that green line right there. We had the stop run, almost tagged my stop, survived a little bit, came back down to VWAP, pushed back above, stopped me out. Right? That was supposed to be my trade. If I was aggressive, I'd take another entry here and the trade would work out. So that's what happens sometimes. I decided to take take the small loss today, right? So this is a PA account. Hold on. This is a PA account on Apex. So that's my risk for today. And I'm just gonna pay that today and call it quits. And this is also basically a trading psychology victory for me because I have to have more discipline, right? The reason I didn't take this second setup, right, is that I will be risking another 300 right here. And I'm not sure if it's going to work out anyway. So usually I go off tilt sometimes and I take multiple trades in the same setup. And I'm just going to kind of rein in myself and stop doing that because it's basically kind of like revenge trading, although it's within the same parameters of the setup. If it doesn't work out the first time, I'll probably just hold off on taking a second trade. So I think my max trades for any trading day would probably be around 2. So my max risk for the day would be 600, and basically look for another setup. Like if I miss this trade here, right? I have the opportunity to take a retest or LPSY somewhere around here. If I get another setup in a different area, like if we come here and VWAP is now a little lower and we start having like buying exhaustion at yesterday's settlement, that's another kind of setup to take. But taking the same setup back to back, I might probably opt out on doing that, right? So yeah, that's my little victory for today. Although it's a red day, it's good trade management, and I exercise more discipline. You know what I'm saying? All right, yo. So it's my Akal Shalama. It's Melek Shalama Trading, and y'all trade safe and stay blessed. Shalom.